Hi, I'm Zach Swingle, and I'm here with Mr. McCarroll.
Hi. How you doing?
Good.
Good.
How are you?
Good. Thanks.
And we're here to ask him his opinions and thoughts on overfishing and whaling. Now, first start off, what are your opinions on whaling?
Well, I'll tell you. I whale quite often when I grade papers because I'll be reading a milk and I go, no! And I whale a lot because of that. So, frankly, I'm all about whaling. I think whaling's a good idea.
No, like whaling, I said like killing of whales.
Oh, the killing of whales. Oh, well, frankly, I think killing anything's a bad idea, but especially whales. There are becoming fewer and fewer all the time, so we need to protect them.
Okay. Now, what do you think is going to happen to the environment if whaling continues to happen?
Well, I think probably eventually what's going to happen is the food chain is going to, of course, suffer because the whales are part of that food chain. So the environment's going to do nothing but be hurt by it.
Well, what do you mean they're part of the food chain?
Well, because, I mean, even though whales are a bigger species, there's something that also relies on the whales. Like, for example, if a whale dies, then there are going to be some things that rely on the carcass of the whale to live. And so the food chain is going to be broken if there are no whale carcass to eat off of, if you will.
What do you think could we possibly do that will possibly slow down whaling or stop it altogether?
I say sink a few whaling ships. I say jump into a boat, and if you see a whaling ship, first you try a bullhorn, is what I find best. So you just yell through the bullhorn, "Hey, don't whale!" And usually that stops them. But if that doesn't stop them, then what I would do is I would probably take a harpoon and harpoon them back. Because usually, once they find out how it feels, they won't do it anymore.
Alright, thank you.
You're welcome.
I just had a question on my mind.
Yeah, that happens a lot when people look at me.
Let's just get to the thing of overfishing.
Sure.
What are your opinions on overfishing, which is where you take a large amount of quantities of fish out of the ocean?
Well, too much of a good thing is always too much of a good thing. So I mean, overfishing is just like anything else. If you overfish, then you're going to have fewer and fewer again feeding into the food chain, which is important. So only take what is necessary, no more.
Alright then, how do you think overfishing affects the environment or ecosystem?
Well, same idea. I mean, the fewer fish there are available, if we take more fish than we need, then, we not only have we fulfilled our needs, but then we've gone on to wasting, in this case, fish. And those fish probably could be used better off by other species or even other people who need that fish for other reasons.
Okay, now, since all the fish are being taken out of the sea, is there any way to, help them recuperate faster than usual?
Yeah, there is. Normally what I think of doing is hugging a fish. Because, again, I find if you hug a fish, it makes the fish feel better and they will recuperate a lot faster. Either that or sometimes I find if you sit down in your boat and you tell a fish a joke, sometimes humor helps fish recuperate faster too. So I think, out of the two, I'd say hug a fish or tell a joke. And either way, you can't go wrong and the fish get better. So.
Alright then, how do you think we could do to end overfishing or possibly slow it down?
Once again, get in a raft. And whenever you see a fisherman on a lake or on the Muskingum River even, with a bullhorn, "Hey, don't overfish!" And usually that stops them. But if it doesn't, you take a rod and reel, you put some kind of a rappel on the end, and snag them. And all it takes is one snag right in the lip, and they won't ever overfish again.
Alright then, I just had the whaling question on my mind again.
That happens a lot. When you look at me, it happens. It's okay.
Just give me a minute to think here.
Sure. In the meantime, I can sing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Fishy, fishy in the sea, won't you come and sing to me? Fishy, fishy, don't be so blue, because when you cry it makes me boo-boo. That's about all I have.
Alright.
But it's kind of fishy.
I just thought of my question.
Okay.
With whaling,
Oh,
what
sure.
would happen to the environment if whales were just go extinct?
Well, again, I mean, there would be no whales, and so first of all, I have to say, some of my best friends are whales, and if they were extinct, I would have no friends left, and that makes me sad. Now, besides that, I mean, obviously the impact on the environment would be huge. The idea of the fact that now, again, there's a huge rift in the ecosystem and the food chain that it could become a really huge problem for other things, and it's just kind of a domino effect. So, while I'm concerned about that, and I am, but primarily I'm more concerned about the fact that I have no friends. And without the whales, I would be totally friendless.
Now, I've always heard that with good things come bad things,
Yes.
with bad things come good things.
You're right.
Is there any good things to whaling?
Sure. It keeps people in jobs, which is kind of important. There are some countries that is a huge part of their commerce, is that they go out and they fish whale and sell pieces and parts of the whale and things like that. So, when you do away with whaling, that's one thing that would really hurt, is some of the economies of some of the countries would not be good. Another good thing about whaling, though, is I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but a really interesting aspect of whaling is it's called non-kill whaling. And here's what it is: non-kill whaling is when you go out and you catch a whale in a jar, and then you bring that whale home and it becomes a pet. That's, in my opinion, a great thing, because now not only does some nice young man have a pet, but the whale has a great home to live in. I mean, it has cable television. Does it have cable television in the ocean? No. It has the internet. Does it have the internet in the ocean? No. So there are some good things to whaling, and that's probably another one.
Alright. Now, with overfishing,
Sure.
same thing. Is there any good things to overfishing?
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't like a goldfish, right? I mean, come on. And so, sure, I'd feel free to overfish as much as you wanted to, simply because there are so many great things that come out of it, like pets. And, there's nothing that warms my heart more than seeing a little boy or a little girl cuddling a fish.
Alright. I'm pretty sure we have all we have today. Thank
Sure.
you, sir.
Thank you. Nice meeting you.
You too.
Okay.
I'm here with Mr. Mall, the science teacher. How you doing, Mr. Mall?
We're shaking hands.
Yeah. Well,
Fine, thank you. How are you?
Doing good. I'm gonna ask Mr. Mall his opinions on whaling and overfishing.
Can I ask you a question first?
Knock yourself out.
When's this project due?
Next 7th period.
7th period. Okay, just checking. All right. Anyway,
I
go
can
ahead.
upload it to YouTube fast enough. Don't worry. Mr. Mall, what is your, in your own words, describe whaling and overfishing?
Describe whaling or fishing.
Whaling and overfishing.
Or fishing.
And overfishing.
Overfishing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whaling. Now, I read Moby Dick. It was the dumbest book I ever read in my life, but it was all about whaling. I blocked most of it out. It's got something to do with blubber, getting a whale, and something about its blubber. That's in my own words.
The truth is, whaling is where you kill a whale and use its body parts to sell on the black market, but Japan...
Like blubber.
Yeah, like blubber, oil, stuff like that. But the thing is, Japan says it's for science, but they only take out a chunk of the whale and then sell the rest on the market. And that's like their loophole to be able to whale.
Lousy Japanese.
Now, what is overfishing?
Overfishing. As opposed to underfishing. Overfishing would be over top of the water. Maybe, I got this. You're in a plane, right? And they lower you down on a rope, and you have your fishing pole. Patua!
Okay, overfishing is where you take so much fish out of a certain area in large amount of quantities in a fast enough time to where they can't reproduce. Cause the fish in that area to go extinct. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
Now, what do you think we could do to prevent overfishing and whaling?
Toughen the environmental laws. And maybe have watchdog groups that actually, patrol and make sure that people aren't out whaling in the ocean or whatever the situation might be.
But do you think that would actually stop everyone?
Well, no, because, there are laws against everything, and it doesn't mean people don't do them. People speed, people do drugs, people do other things they shouldn't do. There will still be those people doing those things. But you make it tougher on them is what you do.
And you think that that could possibly stop people?
I think it could slow them down. How's that sound?
Sounds
Slow them
good.
down.
Now, what about overfishing? What could people do with that?
What was overfishing again? Can you remind me?
Where you take so much fish out of a certain area, they can't reproduce.
I'll eat a salad or something.
Oh, because like they're doing all this fishing, and next thing you know, basically the population is just kind of
Yes.
down and whatever else.
Exactly.
You make like protected areas. I know they do that like with wildlife and forestry and such, where they don't allow any kind of hunting in a variety of areas. You do the same thing in those fresh body areas or whatever saltwater areas. And so you don't let people fish in those particular places. But again, you'd have to have this infrastructure set up whereby people were monitoring it on a daily basis to make sure people weren't doing those illegal activities.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure, sir.
Thank you.